everyone, it's Kira on Polymer Clay TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful angel tassel and a bonus pair of earrings using some fun things from combo kit number 2 or combo deal number 2 at polymerclaytv.com. And you know what? Don't worry if you can't shop there, if you're not comfortable buying things online. I'm basically using cookie cutters and molds, and you can take the ideas that you learned today and use any shapes to make these. This is a face mold that is found anywhere Sculpey products are sold, so that's easy to find. And I'm going to show you a full list of all the supplies that you need in a minute. I am going to work with some pieces from the combo deal number 2, which are the frilled carnation cutters, the lotus plunger, which is a really nice plunger cutter, and the round floral stamps. They actually come in a set of 6, but I'm just pulling out the pieces that I'm going to use. So I've got the largest and smallest of the carnations, the medium-sized lotus cutter, and then I am going to use Sculpey souffle clay in several colors, and this face mold, which is a classic face mold that was created a very long time ago by Barbara McGuire, who is one of our Polymer Clay Adventure teachers, and it creates these really pretty little like moon faces, and you can get this anywhere that Sculpey products are sold. So I've got some more colors of Sculpey souffle that have been conditioned a bit, rolled out. And then the other fun things I'm going to use, of course, you always need a poker, and I use the Sculpey Etch and Pearl. That's my favorite poking tool currently. I've got some powdered pigments. This is Pearlex Pink Gold, which actually is a really pretty sort of champagne gold. It doesn't ever really present as pink on the clay. It really just looks gold. And I have a piece of fiber that I'm going to use for hanging, and this, which is sari fiber, and I'm going to show you how that works. Let me just move this stuff aside and show you what that looks like. So it comes in a bundle like this, and you can get this in lots of places on Etsy. If you look for sari ribbon, recycled sari ribbon, that's S-A-R-I. And it comes usually in a skein that's like a long piece like this, and it comes twisted. So to keep it, you just kind of twist it up and tuck one end, tuck the tail inside the other. And to use it, you just kind of pull out pieces that you want. So you would just section out a piece and cut it off, because it is one long strand, like almost like a skein of yarn. So if you knit or crochet, you could actually buy this and create maybe a rug or something with it, but it's really great for just pulling out little sections of fiber to use on a project like today. So I'm going to just move some things around and show you what I did with the clay and what I have left to do. So I already have made these two pieces, and the face are baked already. So to make the face, that's very easy. You just get your piece of clay, and these molds are flexible and soft, and they really require very little in terms of like getting the piece back out once it's molded. So you just warm up your clay, and to make this face I used this mold, and I didn't mold it all the way. I just pressed it in enough to get the face and pulled it out, and there it is. Okay, so that's really easy to do, and then I just dusted the top of it with my powdered pigments on my finger and baked it. These and this are because whenever I'm doing anything with polymer clay to make a project, there's always time to make earrings, and that's my thing. I love to make earrings because they're just easy and quick. So I'll show you how I made these very simply. Okay, I took a piece of clay, roll it up, And then I only wanted to get this center part, so I just pressed it onto the stamp in the middle and popped it off. So you don't ever have to use a full rubber stamp. You can always just use part of it, and that would be by pressing the clay onto it from the top so you can see what you're doing. So that's how I made those, and then of course I also dusted the tops of that with my powdered pigment on my finger as well. So I'm going to set those aside and start making the things that I need for the actual project. So this is a light blue color that I mixed by mixing the two colors of Sculpey Souffle together. And this is the pumpkin orange, and I'm just going to make 2 pieces of it. So I've got this rolled to a number 3 on my pasta machine, and I'm just going to cut out a couple pieces using my frilled carnation. You just want to press, give it a little bit of a twist to make sure you've got it all, and then pull your clay off. And then we'll do that again. And I'm working on a tile. I'm going to bake on this tile as well. And I like these cutters because they're detailed, but they also give you a spot to push the clay through so you can easily get it out. Right, and it's just got a little fun detail around the edge. You can use your clay to get the excess clay off your surface. And then my intention here is to plop these right in the middle of that. So this I'm gonna put these where I want them, and then I'm actually gonna decorate the edge with some powdered pigment. And the way I prefer to do this is to shake it into the cap and then let it settle for a second so that I can grab the pigments right out of the cap with my finger. I find it a lot less messy that way. And I'm just going to put it on the edges of the petals because I'm going to be sticking clay on the center and I want it to stick. So you never want to put the powdered pigments where you want clay to stick on top of it because then it won't stick. And I'm just going to plop these in the middle and press them nice and hard. Because they're already baked, that's why it's easy to do. And make little holes because I'm going to hang these. These will be earrings. So decide where you want your hangy part. For a jump ring later. Okay, and that's it. That's how easy earrings are. That's why I always make them when I'm making something else. Alright, now let's get on to the angel face. So here's my face that's already baked. And here is my clay that's been rolled to a number 3 on the pasta machine. And I'm going to cut it out with the larger of the set of carnation cutters. And pop it out. Okay, and then depending on how that turns out, you might want to clean it up a little, separate the pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the powdered pigments. Because this is going to be kind of a halo. I'm imagining her as sort of a flower fairy goddess angel. So we'll see how she looks when she's done. So a little of that, and then her face goes in the center. And I'm going to, again, press it hard, which is why I pre-baked the face, to get her good and set in the center there. And now she is going to get 2 holes, and they're going to be kind of big. So I'm going to put a nice large hole here just by spinning this to widen it out. And then under her chin, we're going to do the same thing, a nice big hole. Okay, and you'll see why when I put her together. And let's do the body now of the angel, and I'm going to use the lotus flower for that. And where all the rest of my clay was rolled to a number 3, which is a medium thick setting on my machine, this one is a number 4, which is relatively thin. And I'm going to use the lotus cutter, and I'm going to place it, plunge it so I get that pattern on there, and then give it a little wiggle. Okay, and there's my lotus shape. And if it sticks to your surface, you can use your blade to pick it up. And now you'll see I have a unsharpened pencil on my work surface here. And that is because I'm going to bake it wrapped around this pencil. I have to decide, probably this way. Okay, and first I wanted to do a little detail with the light blue color. So as I was making these little sort of button shapes, I got the idea that a little button would be nice in the center of this flower. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make a little round piece of clay, and I'm going to make sure there's no cracks in it or anything. And then I'm going to just press it in the center of this stamp to create that sort of little button, which is going to go here in the middle of this shape. Which I'm going to just gently place this around a pencil because it's going to wrap. I just want them to barely touch in the back, like that. Because this is going to wrap around my collection of fibers to create the body of the angel. And I'm just going to touch the high points with my Pearl-Ex powder on my tip of my finger to bring out the details. See how pretty that is? And then I'm going to bake these, and then we'll just do some assembly. To get started, you're going to need your scissors and your loop of, a loop of fiber to use. This will be visible fiber, so you're going to want something pretty. And I'm going to show you how to use a wire as a needle. So you're going to need like a length of wire that you can bend in half and waste, because you're going to not use this in the final project, but it's going to be used to thread the needle, so to speak. So you're going to bend it in half, set it aside. And we've got the sari ribbons that are already pre-cut so that I can bend them in half. And what I'm going to do first is just go ahead and tie them in the middle of this piece of fiber. So really just tie a knot, a nice tight knot. And then this is going to provide the body of the angel that we're going to pull through that flower shape that I made. Let's assemble. First we're going to slide this off the pencil. And you know, the reason I did that is to create that hole. And you know, just keeping things like this around the studio is really useful. This is just a charcoal pencil. You could use an unsharpened pencil, maybe keep that around for this purpose. So what I'm going to do first is slide this through here. Just thread it on like it's a big bead. And I'm just going to be, you know, mildly careful here not to damage my polymer clay part. But basically, this is what I'm creating, this sort of dress tassel-y thing. Okay, I'm not going to come all the way through because I actually want a little space of overlap here where I attach it. So now is where I'm going to use this concept of the needle with the wire. I'm going to put this here. And just treat this like a big sewing needle. And I'm going to come up through, I think I'm going to go through the front. And that's why I made a nice big hole, because I knew I had this kind of a yarn that I was going to be pulling through. And it has little slubby things on it, which make it even thicker in spots. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that through in the front, and then I'm going to pull it from the back forward. And then once I'm through here, I can take this needle off. And you can keep this around your studio to use it again, that needle. Okay, and I'm just going to keep pulling my strands through till they're all the way. And you see what I'm doing in the parts here where it's thicker because of that detail on the strand. I'm pulling them through one at a time because I don't want to break my hole in the polymer clay. Okay, so there I'm all the way through. And now you just have to decide, you know, how you want to finish it. I'm feeling like putting it between the little petals here. And tying it. I might even flip it under this. I think I will. I'm going to flip it under this part to keep it in place and keep everything from untying in the future. So here, watch what I do. I'm going to use this needle again because it's being difficult to put it under. And then maybe I can hook this side to know that I've got something coming under the other side. There we go. So see that? Now I've got a spot where I can actually tie it to keep everything nice and secure. Tie a knot. And then depending on what you're going to do with your Angel Tassel, you can decide how long you want this top part to be and tie your knot. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with her yet, so I'm going to leave it long because maybe I'll tie her from a window or something. And then of course earrings are easy. All you need to do this is just a jump ring and an earring finding, and there are so many tutorials online for putting that together. It's really easy to do. Just put a jump ring through the hole, attach your earring finding, and wear them. I love making earrings while I'm doing something else because it just kind of gets you inspired, and you just throw a couple colors together with the cutters you already have out on your table and using, and now I have something pretty to wear to work today.